Welcome to the online video series presented by Structure Studios. This video will explain Design Stage 2, House. In the House stage, you'll work on the buildings and the structures in your design. You can draw your structures using the tools located in the panel, or you can insert a template from the library. In order to fully benefit from this video, you will want to have watched and be familiar with the video's basic drawing and advanced drawing. In this video, we'll turn most of our snaps and constraints on. To make drawing easier, turn on the grid, line, and point snaps, as well as autocomplete. We'll be drawing straight lines, so we'll set the angle snap to world angle. We'll draw the shape of the house using the line tool. We'll left-click once on the grid to start our house. Now as we move our cursor, it's followed by a line and a measurement. We'll move to the right 15 feet and left-click again. We now have a 15-foot segment. As you can see, our cursor is still followed by a line, allowing us to draw another segment. This time we'll draw down 53 feet and left-click again. Using this method, we'll draw our entire house. You can pause this video at any time to plot the dimensions. To finish the house, we'll now draw left 14 feet and left-click. Then down 4 feet. Left 26 feet. Up 4 feet. Left 25 feet. Up 43 feet. Right 20 feet. Down 10 feet. And right 30 feet. When we left-click here, we'll see a dashed line appear, showing us we're lined up 90 degrees with our original point. We can complete the shape by drawing the line back to the original point, or clicking back on the last point to activate the autocomplete feature while the dashed line is visible. We've now drawn the house as a complete shape. In order for a house shape to appear in 3D, it must be a complete shape. This means that the shape must always finish back at the very first point that was drawn. If the shape is red, it is incomplete and will not appear in 3D. When we click on the 3D button located at the top of the screen, our view has now changed from the flat 2D view to the full-color 3D view. The shape we drew defaulted to the height of a one-story house, 10 feet. We can change it to a two-story house or set it to whatever height we need. First, we'll select the house by double left-clicking on it. Once the house is selected, it will highlight in pink. We can now set the height of our house in the panel, under the House Stage tab. The shape must first be selected in order to change its properties such as height. We can select some shapes like houses and custom shapes in 3D, but others must be selected and adjusted in 2D. If we left-click on the two-story button, our house automatically becomes 20 feet tall. We can also choose a custom height. If we enter 15 feet into the height box, our house changes to a height of 15 feet. If we click back on the one-story button, the house returns to 10 feet tall. Our house automatically has a roof as well. We can turn the roof off or on as needed with the roofline button. We can customize the appearance of our roof by using the roof controls found in the panel menu. First, we can adjust the roof pitch. As we adjust the slope value, we'll see the roof pitch change. Clicking on the R allows us even more precise control, where we can adjust the angle down to 1/10 of a degree. We can also adjust the roof overhang and see it change instantly in 3D. Below that, we have the option to turn roof trim off or on and set the height for the roof trim. We can also adjust individual roof panels. As we move our mouse over the roof, individual roof panels highlight in blue. We'll left-click on a panel of the roof to select it. Notice how the panel highlights white now that it's selected. Currently, this roof panel has an angled slope. We can give this roof panel a gabled appearance by pressing the Gable Roof icon button under the House Stage tab. Now the panel is gabled. We can switch it back by clicking on the Hip Roof button. We'll review more roof techniques later in this video. A roof panel must be selected for the gable or hip roof buttons to work, otherwise the entire roof will change to the new setting. Select a section of roof before pressing the gable or hip roof buttons. We are now ready to add doors and windows to our house. We can do this in 2D or 3D. For now, we'll stay in 3D. Under the House Stage tab, there's a button to Insert Window. We'll click to insert a rectangle window in 3D. We can see the window follow our mouse in 3D. As we move over the house, we'll see the window automatically snap to the house walls. We'll attach it to the side of the house and left-click to place it. With the window selected, we can use the Move tool to move it with the green, red, and blue arrows. We can also adjust the elevation of the window on the house. When moving the blue arrow, we can see that Auto Elevation turns off and a value appears in the elevation box. Auto Elevation controls how far from the ground a shape floats. We can adjust auto elevation on our windows, doors, houses, and roofs, as well as custom shapes and most content from the Items tab in the library. Once we turn auto elevation back on, the window will return to the default position. We can adjust the elevation of many items, either with the blue arrow or adjusting the value under Auto Elevation. With the window attached and selected, we have several controls in the panel menu. The main focus here is the interactive window interface, which we'll use later in this video. First, we'll review the settings we see here. We can choose between a rectangle window or an arched window. We'll choose rectangle for now. The height option will adjust how tall the window is, and the width option will control how wide the window is. The window we want to create will be large and have several panes, so we'll set the window to be 5 feet tall and 9 feet wide. We'll also see a rotation setting that allows us to create windows at other angles. We can see the window change right away as we adjust our settings. We'll set the rotation back to 0 for this example. Below the window interface, we'll see an option to turn glass off and on. The window covering button can be turned off or on as well. When off, we can see through the window to the inside of the house. When on, we can choose from several different window coverings, including blinds, shutters, curtains, or tinted glass. We can also choose to display the window covering on the inside of the house as well, or allow our client to see out of the windows from the inside when off. To customize our window further, we'll interact with the window interface menu. We can click on the various window components, such as the casing, framing options, including panes and grille, add an arch to the top of our window, or return to the glass and window covering. First, we'll add an arch to the top of our window. We'll select the arch in the panel menu and see new options appear. We can choose to have no arch, a full arch, or a half arch. We'll select a full arch for this design. We can adjust the height of the arch as well. We'll lower it to 3 feet 6 inches. We can also choose to have a fan style or standard style for the framing. Next, we'll select the casing. We can turn casing off and on and adjust the casing thickness and width and see it change live in 3D. We can also have our arch section share the same casing, so we'll turn this on. The last window component we can select is the framing. We can turn framing off and on and adjust a number of settings. This window has multiple frames, so we'll increase this setting to 3. We can then adjust the divider and frame width as well. We can click the Reset button next to many of these values to restore them to the default value. Below the frame, we have options for the grille. We can adjust the size and how many sections each frame of the window will have. We can do the same for the arch added to our window as well. We also have options for the arch to have columns all the way to the spring line and to share the pane of the main window. We can also adjust how many panes are on the arch. Later in the material stage, any material can be applied to both the window pane and casing. With this window complete, we'll add another to the opposite side of the house. We'll set the window to be 4 feet 6 inches tall and 3 feet 6 inches wide. We'll also turn off the arch on top and reduce the number of frames down to 1. We can quickly duplicate our window and add it to other sections of the house. Select the window with the Move tool and click on the Copy button in the menu bar at the top of the screen, or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+C to copy the selected window. We can then click the Paste button, or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+V to paste the copied window. We'll place it to the right of the original window and another next to it. Now we have all of our windows in place. We're able to look inside the house because we don't have window covering on our windows and we have the interior wall feature turned on. The interior wall feature can be turned off or on under the House Stage tab. When off, our house structure is solid and window covering is turned on. When on, the house has walls that windows and doors will cut out of so we can see inside. We can adjust the size of the walls with the size control to the right of the interior wall button. We'll keep the feature turned on and set to 1 foot. To finish the house, we'll add a door. Let's go back to 2D to place it. Many house decor items are located in the library. We'll open the library and choose the House Decor tab. We'll go to the Doors group and open the French Style 80-inch subgroup. Select the 6-foot double door with panes. Now that we've selected the door we want to use, we'll insert it. We'll click on the Insert One to insert this door on the house, or double-click on the library preview to insert. Now as we move our cursor back into the grid, you'll see the door is floating on the cursor tip, ready to be placed on the house. As we move towards the house, the door will automatically snap to the line of the house. Using our cursor, we'll place the door in the middle of the house shape. There are hundreds of items in the library that can be used on the house. The video of the Yard Accessories stage discusses additional items that can be added to further customize the house. Now we'll review some additional house settings and advanced techniques. We'll see the foundation turned on by default. When active, we'll see a floor inside of our house, and it will automatically prevent terrain from appearing inside the house. When off, there will be no floor, and terrain will be visible inside of the house if touching the ground. We also have an option to add a floating floor in the middle of our house. When active, we'll have a floor between our ceiling and foundation. We can adjust the thickness of the floor and how far from the foundation it elevates. We also have an option to display a ceiling under the roof. When inside our house, we can see the vaulted ceiling of the roof when ceiling is off. When on, we see a flat ceiling on the underside of the roof. Now let's review some advanced techniques we can use in the house stage. In this example, our roof line matches the shape of the house, but this is not always the case. For example, the roof may act as a covered area for our patio and not follow the walls of the house. We can create a custom roof like this quickly and easily by drawing one shape as the footprint of the house walls, as we've already done, and then creating a second shape for the roof itself. First, we'll select our house shape and turn off the roof line. Next, we'll select our outline tool and trace our existing house shape most of the way around. We'll trace the 20-foot section on the left and trace most of the way around. We'll stop where the roof line and house do not match, 10 feet down on the right wall. We'll then switch to the line tool and continue drawing, connecting back to our original point. The final step is to click the Roof Only button next to the height. This will set the shape's height to 0, so only a roof remains. In 3D, we see our roof, but it's on the ground covered by our house. We can use the blue arrow to place it on top of our house or adjust the elevation in the panel. We'll select the leftmost panel and set to the gable roof setting as well. When we look at our gabled roof section, we see it is an open A-frame, and when we look under our roof, we can see it's vaulted on the inside. This is because we used the Roof Only button. In this example, we want to have a solid underside for the roof and a solid A-frame. We can simply adjust the height to at least 1 inch for our roof shape. As soon as we do, the roof becomes solid on the underside and the A-frame is filled in. This completes instruction on the house stage. For more information, please visit support.structurestudios.com, email support@structurestudios.com, or call 800-778-8996.